Uneasy, they say, lies the head that wears the crown. For our guest today, the mantle of leadership fell on him quite early. He is a businessman, a monarch, young, energetic, vibrant, and a bridge builder. He is a thoroughbred professional, an entrepreneur, and an employer. The list is quite endless, yet he remains humble in royalty as the proud custodian of the rich Yoruba culture and tradition. In case you're still wondering who our guest is, you'll find out just after this break. This is the Sunday Interview. I'm Jokele Jadu. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our guest today is an accountant by profession, a real estate magnate by career, and is a monarch by destiny. He is Oba Adeyeye, Enitan, Ogunwusi, the Ojaja II, Imperial Majesty, the Ooni of Ile-Ife. You're welcome to the program, Kabiyesi.
Thank you very much.
So let me ask you, the name Enitan is normally, comes with some story. Enitan. What's the story behind that name?
Immediately I was born, my grandfather, maternal grandfather, unfortunately left this world. My grandfather, the paternal one, felt the presence of the gift of God in the family. Immediately sent for my father, and they all came together to give me those names. So they actually gave me Enitan, my mother and my father, and my grandfather gave me Adeyeye. And the third name, Babatunde. We Yorubas, we believe in reincarnation. Yeah. So they said they are forebears. The age-long ancestors came back, so they gave me those three names. But my mother called me Enitan throughout when she was alive.
Okay. So let me ask you what your early years was like. What was it like growing up?
Well, to the glory of God, ever since I became of age, at age of 4, I can remember almost everything that happened to me since when I was 4 years old to date. Very interesting growing up. I'm a very, I won't call myself a notorious child, but I like to pry a lot. Okay. I like to ask a lot of questions. And everybody will be doing certain things. I will be doing a different thing. So they used to beat me a lot when I was a kid. Their belief then was I like to be rebellious, because they would say, sit down here, don't ask this question, don't do this. I will probably not sit down there.
And you do the exact
And I will just tell them, why did you have to tell me to sit down? I need to know. Is there a reason behind it? I did one thing very daring one time. I was seeing a particular switch that they will put on electricity, and I actually went to that switch, I removed it, and I dipped my hand inside that switch, and I got electrocuted. Wow. It was really bad. So at a very tender age, they gave me the name NEPA.
I can imagine.
I was just a very curious child. And that actually, helped my formative years. My dad was a broadcaster, television and TV anchor presenter, and my mom an administrator and a businesswoman. She used to sell rice, sugar, because she inherited it from the grandmother, and it's like a generational business. So I used to help my mother we used to use Congo then. Whenever they buy a bag of rice after school, I will use that Congo to weigh. So at times we see 30 in a bag or 29.5. I will do the calculation for my mom, and we will split how it will be sold. So I used to help my mother.
That was where the accountancy
You're very correct, actually. Yeah, correct.
So let me ask you who some of your earliest influences were, people who influenced you as a child.
The first person, my late mother of blessed memory. We had kind of a very peculiar relationship, mother and child relationship, and like father and mother and daughter relationship. My mother, it's unbelievable, called me her father throughout. Honestly, you know, baba me, and yet I am her daughter, a son. You know, I'm not, you know, the father of my mother. It doesn't add up. But I used to ask her, why are you always, and she would smile that you don't know anything. That truthfully you are my father. That Oma Gbalagbanye, a minimum be, yet I should respect you. So my mother respected me throughout. We were extremely close. I never knew I could survive when she passed, because I was there when she passed. So I would say nobody compares to her up till date. She did that formation for me.
So, you know, yeah, apart from your mom, you know, always saying things like the things she said to you while growing up, did you ever conceive in your mind at any point while growing up that you will be sitting here as king?
Strangely, my grandfather used to call me Adeyeye Ooni. I don't know why, but my grandfather, paternal grandfather, we were close because everybody said we look alike so much. So we lived in Ibadan and Ife. We had two homes. Our country home was Ife. Our home that we're living, our day-to-day home was Ibadan. And Ibadan to Ife, a short distance. So during a holiday like this, we are in Ife. And whenever we get to Ife, other children will come and they will fight with me, you know, and they will eat my head. But my grandfather would take it very personal and tell them never ever to eat my head. So many of my uncles, my grandfather used to beat them that don't let anybody hit this boy's head. He's a very peculiar child. I don't know, you know. And that was the name my grandfather called me throughout. I was very gifted and talented when I was growing up. I used to make shoes. So I would make for my friends and I would make for myself. I went out of my way to learn shoemaking. I had passion for it, but I did it very well. So I was a shoemaker for my brothers and everybody in the area. So I used to make, and I was giving to people. So that doing this, I was like between the age of 10 and 15, you know. Things like that gave me that sense of leadership.
Now, talking about service to the people, I'm sure that, you know, having people come around, you know, filling your ears with their numerous problems is not an easy task at all. So how do you get away? How do you relax?
Relaxation. I think I use solving problems as my relaxation. Wow. So when problem is solved, I think I'm relaxed. So because my life, my time now is to serve mankind. So my own relaxation for now, because I've done a lot when I was growing up. Like I told you, I was here, there. So a lot of people, when I was announced to be the king, they would never believe that I can ever sit in one place. I've always been a restless child, but I'm an extremist. I blow hot, I blow cold. If I want to go all the way, I go all the way. I like to excel in everything I do. But for relaxation, then before I became the king, I love riding horses because I invested in horses a lot. My oriki is Eleshimari Dilogun, Mejo Njoko, Mejo Oshalai Reje. My mother used to call me that. Akonde Eleshimari Dilogun. So I said when I make money, I will invest in horses. So I had 16 horses actually. I have a resort, you know, I love nature. So I love riding horses. I can't do that any longer anyway. But I love games. I love sports. There's no sports that I don't know how to do. I know how to play. And I know how to play. I know how to play football very well. I know how to play table tennis very well. I know how to play football very well. I know how to play badminton, lawn tennis, court as in very well. I go to the court to play regularly. So, but for now, I'm not doing anything like that. Okay. So my relaxation is just to...
Okay, so you talked about sports and you talked about football. Do you watch football? Do you have any international team you support?
Well, I don't belong to that school of thought of international support. Let us support things locally. Where is our ICC? Where is our El Kanemi? Where is our Eyimba? I belong to that school of thought anyway. Not that, you know, it's a trendy things that are probably in that trend. People follow international matches and all what have you. I just look at them just to play with them, but in my own heart of hearts, where is our local football team? So someday, if I have that opportunity, I think I can turn it around. That people will talk about ICC, then Abiola Babes, Udoji United, El Kanemi, and all sorts.
Yeah,
so kind of that's interesting. You know all those names?
Yeah, of course I do.
Because a lot of youths now they don't know.
Yeah,
it's only Arsenal, Chelsea, and all what have you. Man U. Exactly. So for me, I don't place much importance to foreign football. I don't.
Let's talk about food for you. Say we wanted to wow you with a dish. What would that dish be?
Unfortunately, you can't wow me because I don't. It's always, even if you ask my wife, it's a challenge that, how can one even surprise you with food? I like things that are very simple. I like simple rice. I can eat rice Monday, in my morning, afternoon, night. Rice, I take a lot of tea, and I like plantain. That's all. Simple food.
Would you describe yourself as a fashion-oriented person, someone like a dandy man? Do you care that, you know, your wristwatch matches your shoes, you know, your attire, everything goes together?
Well, I would say I'm a very together person. Maybe yes, to some extent, if I really have that time. But I like to do something that, you know, I'm a time-conscious person. So my time shouldn't be, I shouldn't invest too much time in fashion, but it must flow. So to me, it's about time. Time is very precious. So my point is, yes, I like it. I like things to be well symmetrical, you know, to be well thought of, but not that it will take a lot of my time.
Now, let's talk about homeliness. Would you describe yourself as homely by any means? Do you help out in the house?
Well, like I told you, my major role model in life, my late mother of blessed memory. There's nothing that my mom didn't teach me. I know how to cook very well, as in very, very well. I can, you know, I'll tell you difficult foods. Moi moi, making moi moi inside leaf. I know how to do it. I know how to fold it well. My mother taught me. My mother, at some point when we all started growing up, stopped going to the kitchen. Both male and female, I know how to make amala. I know how to pound yam. I know how to do everything. We used to do that for my mom. And pretty close to her, so I learned all those things from her. So I would say yes, to some extent I'm very homely.
Now let's talk about romance. Would you say you're romantic by any chance?
I don't know what you mean by romance, so...
I'm sure your wife would have mentioned once or twice.
That's a Western culture. You know, our culture is not to go and pluck flower, and but those are things we inherited. You know, unfortunately, you know.
But there's African romance.
I like that. Can you tell me one? Just suggest one.
Like you want to massage your wife's feet. You know,
that's not African romance.
Well,
that's one. You got that one right. You got that one right. That is African romance. You're right. If you watch all those old movies, we used to do that, you know. And then they will gossip, and then they will try and sip off some powers from that man. Bale me. There's so you know, that's a typical African romance, not flower and all what have you. And you sing, you know, Oriki. You know, I think I know how to do that. I know how to do that. I know how to do that.
So we'll mark you as romantic.
Well, to some extent. Maybe you can ask my wife. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll do that. So let me ask you how marriage life has been for you. It's been a while, but how's it been?
Well, you know, in life, it's not everything that is perfect. It's an experience for me. And to the glory of God, this life is all about having experiences in one area or the other. You know, marriage can be viewed in different ways, you know. It's an institution that needs to be respected, no doubt. But I just encourage people, before they go into it, they should go into it for very good reasons. A lot of people go into it because of frustration, because of company, and because of some other funny reasons. If you don't marry someone that you belong to the same school of thought, it's always a problem.
Yeah.
I will just encourage people to look deeply before they go into it.
Less than 1 year as king, what has the experience been like for you? Yes, you've looked forward to it. Yes, you were prepared for it, but how's it been?
To me, it's a complete 360 degrees turnaround for me. Like I told you, I've always been a very restless child. You know, even in my corporate world, I need to run like about minimum of 10 projects at a time. My brain can actually take it. But when I'm sleeping, I know I'm very restless. It's that bad. And I need to now combine modernity and tradition. So for me to switch, I need to actually, you know, reorientate my thought process very well. So over the last 4 or 5 months, it's a different life for me completely. But I love it. I'm enjoying it. It's a sacred clarion call. It's only God that maketh kings. You know, the King of Kings knows more than any of us. Actually knew that, yes, I'll be able to perform well. And I'm very passionate about people. I'm very passionate about mankind. I don't like seeing people suffering. So my stool now, I'm just using it to impact on youth especially. To me, every 10 Nigerian, 7 are youth, male and female. Come on, 70%.
Yeah.
So we are like Nigeria on it. 70% is distinction concerning grading. And nobody is really championing the cause of the youth. So I'm always very passionate. So to me, I live for them now. I live for them. The entire, not only in Ile-Ife, but the entire country. I live for them.
All right, we'll go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll still be speaking with Imperial Majesty, the Onisha of Ile-Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan, Ogunwusi. Stay with us.